What's up, Thenx athletes? It's Chris Heria, and welcome to another Thenx video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one thing that you can start doing right now to change your life that's going to have you develop more strength and muscle while you're working out. Assuming you're already putting in the time to train and you're taking nutrition seriously, there's one thing that you can start doing right now to transform your body without even taking into account increasing your reps and resistance or reducing rest time, and that is using perfect form. And if you've been struggling to see results, this can be a complete game changer. It might sound or seem obvious, but a lot of people ignore this and simply don't do it, either due to not knowing that they're using improper form or simply just being lazy. But if you're already putting in the work and you're already doing the required amount of repetitions for an exercise, you might as well do them right and get the max benefits out of them as you spend the same amount of time doing them with improper form anyway, while missing out on the strength and muscle gains. Professional athletes that train for a specific sport or goal always practice with perfect form, not only to build the muscle memory of the movement, but to get the most out of it, and you definitely wouldn't want to build muscle memory of improper form. Using perfect form involves full range of motion of an exercise, which provides for a better quality contraction and increased time under tension, and allowing you to move on to harder progressions, improving you as an athlete overall. And as I always say, it's not practice that makes perfect, it's perfect practice that makes perfect. And by implementing perfect form into your training today, you can literally change your life significantly, improving the outcome and the results of your training and expediting your fitness journey, getting you in the best shape of your life, not just looking strong, actually being strong. So for today, I'm gonna go over the fundamental exercises as well as some calisthenic skills and show you how you should and should not be doing them. And if you're ready to follow along, all you're gonna need is to download the Thenx app in the App Store or Google Play Store, open up to the YouTube workout section, you should find this routine, smash the like button on the video, and we're ready to get started. The first fundamental exercise we're gonna get into is the push-up. Now remember, not all reps are equal. You can have someone do 10 reps with perfect form and another person do 20 reps with sloppy form. The person that did the 10 perfectly is gonna see more results and develop more strength and muscle. So in my opinion, you wanna increase your perfect reps, not your sloppy reps. I see it all the time when people are doing pull-ups. They'll do 20 sloppy pull-ups and wonder why they still don't have the strength to be able to do a muscle-up. Meanwhile, the person that can do 10 pull-ups is doing muscle-ups already. But when you look at the form and the reps, the 10 is a lot harder to do than the half repping really bad form 20. So in the end, if you're not striving for perfect form and you're still counting the reps, you're only cheating yourself. So with that said, let's get into push-ups with perfect form. I'm gonna go for 10 reps and then break it down. Starting off with the things that you want to make sure that you're getting right, you want to make sure that your core is engaged, but you can still breathe comfortably and regulate your breathing. You want your chin up and you want to be in a straight line from your heel to your shoulder, squeezing your glutes along with your core, your calves, and the grip on the ground. You want to lower your body all the way down to your chest reaches the floor and then all the way back up using only your arm. You definitely don't want to rush this movement and you want to use complete full range of motion, all the way up, all the way down. All right, there we have push-ups with perfect form. If you're rushing the push-up, of course you're gonna be able to do more reps, but you're not gonna get the quality contraction and you're not gonna build the strength and muscle and get the results that you want as fast. I promise you, slow and steady really wins the race, and you're gonna feel it's a lot harder to do them slow and controlled, which is a good thing, which is how you know it's superior to doing them fast. Now there's many variations of push-ups, but this is gonna be the basic checklist for all of them. If you wanna learn how to do your first push-up or increase your repetitions, definitely check out my video, how to do a push-up. And if you follow this checklist correctly, you won't have to worry about doing your push-ups with improper form or not getting the most results out of them. These fix the main things that people always get wrong, like their hips drooping too low, not engaging your core, not breathing, not using full range of motion, going too fast in your repetitions and not getting a quality contraction, and not using full body engagement throughout the entire movement of the exercise. And push-ups is a great exercise to build strength and muscle in your upper body, and it can be done without any weights and absolutely anywhere. So once you've mastered the push-ups, this will definitely change your life. Next fundamental exercise, we have the pull-up. I'm gonna go for 10 reps and then break it down. Now you can really tell when someone's using perfect form because they're not trying to use momentum. In fact, they're trying to work against momentum, maximizing the amount of resistance that they can place on the muscles with each rep. If you're swinging or using momentum, that's gonna be taking off some resistance. And if you're using improper form, that's gonna be taking off resistance from the intended muscle groups that you're trying to work. So specifically with these movements, you wanna reduce the amount of momentum and help that you're using. All right, there we have 10 pull-ups with perfect form. So when doing pull-ups with perfect form, you want to make sure that your core is tight. Your feet are also tight and pointed together, which allows your body to stay as a unit while you simultaneously squeeze your calves, glutes, and back. And you want to make sure that you're activating your scapulas and retracting them back before you even start to pull up. Also, make sure you have a strong and firm grip on the bar. The stronger your grip, the easier it's going to be to pull up. Once everything is engaged and in perfect form, you can begin to pull up with full range of motion. You always want to try to pull up towards your chest. That would be the minimum minimum requirement. If you can't yet do so and you're only hitting your chin, that's okay, but you still want to work towards hitting the chest line. You don't want to be satisfied just pulling up to here. If you want to learn how to do your first perfect pull-up and increase your repetitions, you can always check out my video, how to do your first pull-up. So if you're doing all of these things correctly with each rep, then every rep should count. If you're not doing any one of these things correctly, then the rep shouldn't count and you should go ahead and try it again with perfect form. If you haven't yet and you start doing your pull-ups like this, you're going to be doing one arm pull-ups and muscle ups like crazy really soon. Now moving on to the next fundamental, we have dips. I'm going to go for 10 reps with perfect form. As I do these dips with perfect form, I'm going all the way up and all the way down using full range of motion. I'm not doing it too fast. I'm getting the quality contraction, squeezing tight with the grip of my hands for the entire duration of this exercise from the bottom to the top, keeping my core tight and only using my arms to lift my body. I'm not helping with my lower body and I'm not kicking with my legs at all. I'm keeping them tight, stationary, and together. All right, so there we have dips with perfect form. And now with more of an understanding, you should be able to spot the differences in the repetitions. So make sure you're not speeding through these reps, make sure that you don't have your legs all over the place, and make sure that you're not cheating yourself, going through the entire checklist and making sure that you're doing every single rep as perfect as you possibly can to get the most benefits. Moving on to the next fundamental, we have squats. So when you're doing squats, make sure that you have weight on your heels. You also want to make sure that your back is straight with the open chest, your chin is up, you're using full range of motion, you're not leaning too far forward. And your core and glutes and legs are tight the entire time. And you don't want to rush this exercise. You want to do it slow and controlled for a quality contraction to get real results. All right, there we have 10 squats with perfect form. And as you can see, I did it with the wall right in front of me to ensure that I'm using perfect form. A lot of times when people are going for squats, they could be leaning way too far forward with their knees way past their toes and the majority of their body weight moving onto the balls of their feet, resulting in their heels to rise or reducing the weight from their heels. And now that we've covered the fundamentals, let's go over some calisthenic skills. The first one is going to be a handstand. When you're in a handstand, you want to be in a perfect straight line. From your hands to your toes, you have to be completely engaging every single muscle in your body. From your feet tight and pointed together to tightening your calves, your glutes, your quads, your core, your shoulders, your back, your arms, and down to the grip of your hands on the floor. Any weak link or muscle not engaged is going to break that straight line. All right, so there we have the handstand hold. Perfect form. Now right off the bat, if you don't know how to handstand and you'd like to learn how right now, check out my video, how to handstand in 5 easy steps. Now when it comes to handstands, it's easy to spot the errors, or if you're using perfect form, make sure your head is not too far forward because you want your body to be aligned in a perfectly straight line. So you want to make sure that your body is completely stacked from your hands to your head, glutes on top of your head, and feet on top of your glutes. And make sure that no part of your body is loose. That's another main thing that people do. They'll have some muscles tight and others not, and that's gonna make your foundation really wiggly. It's gonna make it harder to hold your handstand. And also, if your hips are not engaged, you're gonna start to bend in your handstand and end up with a banana looking handstand. And lastly, don't be looking around while you're doing a handstand. Whenever you move your head or move your eyes, it will drastically move your body. Once you can master it, it's a great thing to learn later on, but when you're first trying to do your handstand, it can actually be one of your biggest setbacks. So make sure you're looking at and staring at one point on the ground. I explain exactly where to do it in the video. Go ahead and check it out. Now we're ready to move on to the next calisthenic skill, the full planche. All right, there we have the full planche. Little quick planche to show you guys perfect form. Now, if you don't know how to planche and you'd like to start learning right now, check out my video, how to full planche step by step. Now, there's a lot of components to executing the full planche, but when looking at somebody, if they're doing it with perfect form, it's easy to see. For starters, your arms should be completely locked out. In fact, they should look hyper extended like this. This is a straight arm exercise, so if your arms are not locked out or not straight in any shape or form, you're not doing a full planche, you're doing a bent arm planche, which is tremendously easier. Even if your arm looks straight, if it's not locked out, it's a huge difference in strength and skill. You also want to make sure that your body is in a straight horizontal line, and you don't want to have a droop or a bend in your lower back or your lower body. And what's going to help keep your body in a straight line is maintaining your core engagement and hollowing out your back, protracting your scapulas instead of retracting them. And those are the main things that people get wrong with the full planche. Other than that, if you're checking everything off the list and you're doing it correctly, and you checked out my video on how to full planche step by step, you should be doing it with perfect form. If not already, then in no time. And moving on to the last calisthenic skill, I'm going to show you the front lever with perfect form. All right, and there we have a front lever with perfect form. Again, if this is an exercise that you can't do that you'd like to learn, then check out my video on how to front lever step by step. And just like the full planche, the front lever has a lot of components to it, but visually you can see right away when someone's using proper form or improper form. And those cues are gonna be bends in the body or the arm. They're not engaging their core, or they just don't have enough core engagement strength. Same thing for their lower back. They can also not be retracting their scapulas as they should be, especially when you're trying to go up into a front lever. That's what's gonna bring your body up into that horizontal position. And if your arms are bent as well, that's another thing that you don't want to be doing. You want to make sure that your arms are straight when you're doing a front lever. And a big sign of that is if your body is not in a locked out straight line, even if you have a tiny bend in the hip area, which is one of people's biggest mistakes, even people that think that they're doing front levers and they're not. In order for you to lift your lower body into a straight line, the majority of the engagement has to be in your lower back, kind of like as if you're doing a deadlift. This is what's going to keep your legs up and in a straight line. If you're trying to raise your knees like this, as you can see, your hips are going to bend, and you're never going to maintain a straight line if you're trying to lift your feet or your knees into a front lever position. But I cover all of that as well as all the techniques that you can use to learn how to front lever. So check out my video on how to front lever. And with that said, that's going to cover today's video. If you learned something or enjoyed the video, then definitely smash that like button. It really helps YouTube recommend our videos to more people and to show our appreciation. If you comment down below, we're always going to be gifting someone in the comment section some Thenx gear if you comment within the first 30 minutes. We post every single Sunday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern Time. So make sure you hit the subscribe button with notifications on so you never miss a video. And don't forget to get this routine as well as full access to all our workouts, having you not just looking strong, actually being strong, then make sure you download the Thenx app in the App Store or Google Play Store and get full access to all our workout programs, technique guides, and daily workouts that are gonna have you shredded, and join the millions of other Thenx athletes around the world getting in the best shape of their lives right now. And for more of my content, make sure you're following my vlog channel. That's youtube.com/ChrisHeria. I post every single Thursday, 2 p.m. USA Eastern Time. And make sure you're following me on Instagram. I always do a giveaway on both of those platforms. So if you want a chance to be a part of it, then make sure you're following me. And with that said, I'll see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. USA Eastern Time. Mad love and peace out.